Anyway, so it's fine to speak out, not speak out, just speaking out, just speaking out it. Just speaking out is what everybody can do. So what I'm going to talk about is anyway. So I have to talk about some topic anyway. So anyway, this is a kind of digression. So it has already begun. What has been already begun is. So this episode. So anyway, so I'm sorry for my so I created this part as a casual or as a greeting part. So but actually, so I couldn't create this greeting part well. Anyway, so maybe this worked as a lubricant or lubricant for my speaking performance. To start with, I'm not a good speaker of English language because I'm a non-native speaker of English language. So anyway, so this time what I'm going to talk about is people who love or hate English language, and the conclusion is some people love English and others don't. So people loving English, so I wrote some writings. I wrote some writings on the description column of this episode, and those apart anyway, so in the space of conclusion, I added two types of people. One which is people loving English, and this type of people tends to find going abroad the ultimate solution of the problems that they have. And people hating English, this type of people tends to hate changes. This type needs to accept the changes to some degree to survive. Anyway, so if you can't catch it, or if you can't understand what I have just spoken about, so please take a look at the description column of this episode so that you can read or so that you can understand that what I spoke out, and because what I have just spoken out are written in the description column of this episode. Did I use the past tense or past simple of speak with I have spoke is a wrong expression as an English language, and it's necessary to say I have spoken some kind of story to you, stuff like that. So when it comes to use the verb speak, that manner of use is the correct use. Anyway, so I haven't actually I have been fully aware that I have not told you my own name and the name of my channel or my podcast anyway. So hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. So I have been fully aware that I have not told you that what I haven't told you is my name, well, my alias and the name of my podcast. Anyway, so this is Work to Live, and I have a YouTube channel whose name is Work to Live anyway, and my family, not family name anyway. So my family name is Gon, and my first name is Richard, and which is and both of them are my alias. So which means I have another true Japanese name, and as I have told you, so I'm a Japanese person, and my mother tongue is Japanese, and this is so what I'm speaking out is a foreign language, and I have learned this language or English language. So when I became a teenager, maybe. Anyway, so I have learned English language for a long time. So have done other Japanese people. Anyway, so I have told you the title, and so which means, so when it comes to English language, there is a clear distinction between people loving English language and people hating English language. And so I think I'm a loving side, which means what is loving side if you have such a question. So loving side is people loving the side of people loving the English language. So those people love to study English language. Some people, and maybe women. Many women are categorized into this side or into this category. And in English, many people love to study English language, and some people watch, for example, some people watch videos of BBC channel of YouTube, for example, So I often watch, I thought I can't get the full recollection of the name of that BBC channel, but actually, that is a BBC English or BBC Learning English, or that channel I have come up with had such a name, and I can't remember the exact name of that BBC channel of that BBC channel, but actually, BBC has a channel for maybe non-native speakers of English language, to help those non-native speakers of English language learn or study English language. And not YouTube, but BBC has such a YouTube channel anyway. So if you are interested in, please find by yourself. I'm sorry. So I'm not thinking of writing the link of that YouTube channel into the description column of this episode. So please find it by yourself. Anyway, maybe I should tell you the details of what I have just told you in that part of conclusion. So conclusion is some people love English and others don't. So why the fact is that many people love to study English language, and while there are many people who hate to study and who hate English language themselves or itself. But actually, so as I have told you, so anyway, so maybe I should tell you, I should add some explanations to the conclusion I have just told you. So I told you that people. I told you that I wrote some writings in the description column of this episode, and one of the writing is that people loving English, and this type of people tends to find going abroad the ultimate solution of the problems they have. So there are some people who think, like, for example, they have some severe problems, and but actually, so they love to go abroad anyway, someday, and such people do not have a concrete plan, or such people do not have any elaborate plans for going abroad. To start with, going abroad itself is really abstract, or really obstructed or blurry concept. That is because going abroad. So where would you like to go is my question. So for example, if you're American person, anyways, if you're American person, if you'd like to go abroad, so it's fine to cross the border. It's fine to cross the, northern border or the southern border, so that you can go to another country quite easily. So for example, so I'm not familiar with geographic locations of each state of the United States of America, but actually, so if you live in really a northern part, what I'm telling you is a hallucination or imaginary stuff. But actually, so if you live in some region or some county, really located really to in the north of Washington, state of Washington, for example, if you live in really a northern part in the state of Washington, for example, not Washington District of Columbia, but actually, so Washington, state of Washington. And so if you'd like to go to another country, so it's fine to cross the northern border, so that you can go to maybe the name of that province is British Columbia of Canada. Anyway, so by which you can easily go abroad. Anyway, so but actually, so and of course, another way to go abroad is that you can come to Japan, and so that you can come abroad anyway. So and another one is that you go to, for example, Madagascar or Egypt, or some Nordic country, so that by which you can accomplish your own purpose if you'd like to go abroad anyway. So But actually, so what I'd like to tell you is that going abroad solves no problems, which means so for example, if you live in really a dangerous country like some Latin American countries or all Latin American countries are really dangerous, which is the impression most Japanese people have. Maybe so at least I have an impression that so almost all Latin American countries or all the Latin American countries are really dangerous to not only to the local people but actually to the tourists. So which is why I would so someday I'd like to go to some Latin American countries, but actually so I'm afraid of going to Latin American countries. That is because there are many the crime rates of those countries are really high. So which is why I have avoided or I have so evaded going to Latin American countries or Middle and South American countries anyway. So if you live in such a country, so I recommend you going away from such countries and going into, for example, I recommend you going into for example the United States of America or Canada. So which is how you can avoid living in countries having high crime rates. But actually, apart from such an example, apart from such an instance, so to start with, problems around you are what you have to tackle. So I'm sorry for my bad skill of low skill of speaking English language. So if you face some problems, so you have to do you have to do something to solve that problems. So without which you have to without which you are going to end up with suffering from those problems, which is what I'd like you to know this time. Anyway, so this of course this is not the main track of this episode, and anyway, roughly said, some people who love English, some people who love English language tend to or are likely to think that going abroad solves all the problems those people have. Which is a kind of a likelihood or tendency of their own thought circuits. And as most people, not most people, not many people think like that. But actually, maybe there must be other types of people like those people love English language because they are just because they are really good at learning language. For example, there are some people who love to study foreign languages itself. So which is why for those people learning English is really so entertainment or leisure for those people who love to study English language. So or who love to study foreign languages. Learning English or studying English is a leisure or some kind of hobby for those people. And so such a case is possible. And I'm not so I have told you the examples of people loving the English language. So so next section is people hating the English language. And so as I wrote in the description column, so people hating the English language have a tendency, for example, and this is what I'm going to tell you is an example. And this type of people tends to hate changes, and this type needs to accept the changes to some degrees to survive. Anyway, so this world has been globalized, which means it's necessary to communicate with people using different mother tongues from English language. For example, in the case of American people, and in the case of my country, Japanese people have to talk with or communicate with other people. People use other languages than Japanese language. Putting yourself into the shoes of Japanese people. Japanese people have to use English language as a foreign languages, and so what they have to do is to why they have to study English language and acquire English language is to enable themselves to communicate people using different language. People who do not know Japanese language, which I think is a correct explanation, or so precise or accurate explanation. So but actually, so the local people of this country do not like study English language, and of course some Japanese people love to study English language, but actually, so quite a few people do not like studying English language. So for those people, but actually this country has a declining population, and having with a dim future or with a dark future. So thinking about, or based on such a fact, it's Japanese people who are required to learn, study, and acquire English language the most. Anyway, so this country is in such a situation. But actually, the truth is that many people hate to study English language, which is I think is really a huge problem. Which I think is really a huge problem Japanese people face. Anyway, but actually, it's Japanese people who can do something for their bright futures. But actually, so another example is that I have some stocks or shares of German companies, but actually, so which is why, so this country has some kind of treaty between Germany and between Germany and this country, anyways, or with Germany. And so which means, so that treaty was some kind of that type of relation is that so I don't have to pay extraneous tax for Germany. So which is why, so the double taxation is a familiar word. Maybe this is just a speculation. So if some double taxations between two countries, two or more countries, so there's a term, or there's a relation between this country and Germany, that so that but actually, so that I don't have to pay taxes for Germany, or it's fine anyway. So I can avoid paying taxes to Germany. And but actually, to enable such a to activate such a relation to my asset, I have to create some documents, and so I get some documents from Germany. But actually, so English translations are added to the German document, to the German documents. But actually, German writings or German writings occupy or account for larger spaces in your document. So please imagine such a layout. So please imagine such a picture. So I had to look for English translations or spaces of English translations. So when I created that document, so I had some difficulties in finding out such translations of English languages. So because English space, or the writings of English languages were really small. So which is why anyway, so from that document, so I could understand that so as a whole, or in general, German people do not like to study English language, or German people do not want to accept the fact that English language is the international language all over the world. So anyway, so which is impression I got from that document. So this is another example of people hating the English language. Anyway, so language, English has some kind of some kind of how should I call that situation or that phenomenon. So maybe quite many non-native speakers of English language have a slight or thin layer of negative impressions toward studying English language, because studying foreign language is a how should I say, workload to non-native speakers of English language. Such a we are the people. So non-native speakers are the people who are loaded such a huge task or works, such a huge tasks or works to ourselves. so I'm sorry for my low skill of English language, but actually we are obligated to, or we are obliged to learn English language. So which is the situation of this world where many non-native speakers or non-native users of English language are obligated to study English language for communicating among people using different languages as mother tongues from each people use their own distinct mother tongue from people living in distant places, which is the situation of this world. And if you are not Japanese person, we have to use English language to talk with me. So if you are, for example, if you are French person and your mother tongue is French language, so to talk between you and I, so we have to use English language because I do not know any French language. So we are in such a situation. So anyway, so I have fully digressed. So which is why, so coming back to the original title or the track of this episode, the title is People Who Love or Hate English Language, and the conclusion is some people love English and others don't. So people loving English is this type of people tends to find going abroad the ultimate solution of the problems they have, and people hating English, this type of people tends to hate English, this type of people tends to hate changes. This type needs to accept the changes to some degree to survive. Anyway, so at last, there are some. I think whether some people like English or some people hate English. Depends on their own fundamental characteristics. For example, maybe for example, conservative people tend to hate learning foreign languages. I think there must be some kind of some tendencies or likelihoods, or as I have told you in this episode. So what I'd like you to know this time is that of course so it's fine to accept the fact that there are some people who like English and who hate English, but actually so I think there must be some kind of tendency or some kind of principles grounding into the characteristics of human beings. So by using such a perspective, like so this type of people tends to. Because this type of people are likely to, it's likely to love English language, and this type of people are likely to, or is likely to hate English language. By using such a perspective, I think so you can expand your own perspective, so, or I think you can expand your own insights of your own thoughts. So which is what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.